Hello everybody, Frankie Day here for Frankie Day Models. Okay fellas, for this beautiful Friday evening, rainy, halfway video number 3 for the Hasegawa PS-1 Flyingboat. I assumed at the time, fellas, I had this thing done a couple of days ago. I was wrong. I had more work on it than I thought I did. I forgot all about the de-icer boots. I've got a few things to do on this thing. I got the remainder of the de-icer boots to put on a horizontal stabilizer, and I got to paint the tip of the magnetic antimony, whatever you call it, detecting boom. I just now remembered all that stuff. And I got to paint the radar nose on there. Install same. Props got to be assembled and painted, installed. The tires got to be painted, installed, and a little touch up here and there, and she's done. I should have it done by Sunday. I want a downhill stretch right now. This thing is all clean, no pre-shading done on it. It's all nothing but pure. It's just pure, natural, clean finish. Because I imagine these things are kept pretty immaculate, and so this is a thing, just an immaculate build. Okay, guys, before I get started with the viewing of the third video of this flying boat here, I'd like to make a very special shout out to Mr. George Taylor from Burbank, California, from my home state. And this man, I had a hangout. Oh, I don't know, about a week ago. So, as a matter of fact, it was a week ago from today, to be exact. And so far, you know, he got on my chat line while I was making the video, and he asked me if I ever built any, what I think about wingnut wings. I said, I've never had the wingnut wings kits in my life, you know, and I know they're expensive, but I just never came around to buying any. And so this man has a wonderful heart. I tell you guys, this is the most beautiful world in the whole world, is our beloved modeling community we have here. I've never associated with a bunch of fellas in my whole life. That shows you there's good all over the world, all over. And he's a very fine gentleman for what he's done to me. He sent me this kit by Wingnut Wings. Mr. Taylor said he had 2 kits. Incidentally, on this Facebook page, I believe he has a lot of his work. This man does very, very, very good work. And World War I aircraft he does. And he does very wonderful work. So you guys get on Facebook. I checked his channel out. I'm not quite sure he has any his builds on the channel. It's mostly on his Facebook page, what Mr. Taylor has. He has all kinds of World War I aircraft. These are very beautiful airplanes, all wingnut wings. And I'm pretty sold on these kits. They're very expensive, but they're very nice kits. There's so much to do on these things. And they give you a lot too. And it's something that's not designed for the novice at heart, because this thing's a very complex kit. And there's a lot going on in this kit than just parts on the sprue trees. Mr. George Taylor sent me this 1/32 scale wingnut wings Foker DV11, the early version, and this is truly a wonderful kit, and I will make an inbox view out of this thing, probably next week. I'll probably be messing around with this. I looked at the instructions. The instructions are a good read. All by itself, not only the construction phases that this kit is built, but it makes an excellent read for the World War I enthusiast or connoisseur. And it makes a very good collection to the World War I collection. I noticed that they make a lot of these 1/32 scale World War I aircraft, and I like them. I mean, they're pretty good size. Now, I built a paper model. It's pretty much similar to this kit here. It's 133 scale. The 133 scale is just a tad smaller than 132nd scale. And that's an excellent kit right there. And George, thank you very much, dear sir, for sending me this kit. I'm very honored to you, and now I'm going to build this in your honor. Right now, I got a lot of stuff, as you can tell, I'm going on here. And I'm trying to get these things done by taking my time. Okay. Wrap this video. I'm going to make me a jig. I'm going to start painting on my Memphis bell. I'm going on the bell next. I'm going to go ahead and start doing the pre-shading. I'm going to take it apart right now and take the wings off and put it back in the box next to me over here. And I'm going to make me a jig. I'm going to set it on my workboard right here. And I got all my paints in order right here. I went down there. I thought I had some neutral gray. I didn't have neutral gray in my paint stash piles. I got a lot of grays, pretty close to neutral gray. So I decided to paint the bell in acrylic colors using Shinmeiwa. So I went down there to Smitty's. I seen Russ. And I says, "You got any neutral gray in the Tamiya range?" "Yes, I do, right over here." So I bought 3 bottles. I assumed it was going to take about 3 bottles of neutral gray to paint this P-17. About 3 bottles of olive drab to do the same. Neutral gray, call out number XF53. XF53 right there, fellas. I like Tamiya paints. At first, when they first came out, I was kind of skittish about using them. And after using them, I find out they are very wonderful colors to use. So I got those. I got all the paint, everything ready to go. I got all my olive drab tones all mixed. And so right now I got to do some pre-shading. So before I do any pre-shading with the old Pache airbrush, excuse me, I'm going to go ahead and make a jig to hold this big beast in. Like I said earlier in the video, I disassembled the airplane. Got the wings in the box. I'm going to work on the fuselage first and get that done. Now what I'm going to do is, I've already thought and rethought over again and slept on it. I decided I'm not going to cement down the turtle deck on this B-17. I'm going to try to trim. It's still snug up there behind the bulkhead, behind the pilot's apartment. I mean the flight engineer's apartment, where it goes to the Bombay. My turtle deck goes down. And see, like me, it doesn't want to go down too much, just because something's kind of impeding it from going out flush. So I'm going to have to research that out and check it out. But I elected anyway, guys. I'm going to make that turtle deck removable so you can see the radio department, you can see the pilot's compartment, all that wonderful work that Freddie did on it. And it's going to be a treat. And so I'm going to start getting my jig prepared tonight. And I'm going to check and see if it fits in the jig good, because like I say, it's a big airplane, guys. And so the best way to paint this thing is got to put it on some kind of a jig to hold it to a steady, where I can concentrate using different shades of olive drab to bring the bell into the way she looked back in World War II, when she did her first 25 missions. I sent Freddie a 1/72nd scale Revell Memphis bell. It's not the old 1962 original kit. It's the probably 2004, 2005, 12, 14. Middle or early 21st century, around there. And it's a very nice, beautiful kit. He went ahead and purchased a 1/72nd scale Memphis Bell decal set. Now, what makes this decal set so special is that the decals, I think, I don't know if the micro scale, or I don't know who makes these decals, Cardiograph, I don't know. But it has the Memphis Bell in the movie with the kind of like the cursive on there. Instead of having like it does in World War II, it gives it a little spice. And else you don't see too many B-17 Memphis Belles with 1991 with Matthew Bodine and Memphis Belle, Ruby. And so he's going to make pretty sure he's going to make the Belle like that on Hollywood, which he'll do an excellent job on. I know he will. I also sent Freddie some pilots to go to my Huey, my 1/24 scale. Huey 16, my Huey, my chopper. And he does a wonderful job of figures, you know. And a lot of people out there are talented at painting figures, but old Frankie Day is not too keen at painting figures. I'll paint them like the way they're supposed to be, but we use tonal effects and paints and everything and washes. It takes a keen eye and know what you're doing. And Freddie knows what he's doing. He does a good job. So that'll be it. And we're going to take a look at the PS1 and finish up the video. Okay, guys, here she is. I didn't mean to detain you away from the build, but I want to get it off my chest here a little bit so I get all the important details out of the way before we look at the PS1. As you can see, I got her clothes on. Took a little... Excuse me, guys. I tell you, this Ohio weather has got me all choked up. My sinuses are all messed up. I feel like Froggy of Goddamn Little Rascal sometimes. Okay. I'm going to turn this bad girl around on my Lazy Susan here. I got all the decals on. The decals almost disintegrated this thing. If it wasn't for the decal bonder, these decals would be about as useless as tits on a warthog. You got to excuse my language. And so I imagined to save the decals, and I did. I gave about 2 coats of decal bonder. Let the first coat dry for about 5 hours. Went back over the second coat, let it dry 24 hours. And the decals started to crack a lot when I started to put them on the plane. And I said, man, it wasn't that decal bonder, I would have been a done dog, a dead duck. And it's a very clean paint schedule on this thing, guys. What I need to do is paint the leading edges of the horizontal stabilizer. They got to be masked and airbrushed off. I forgot all about it, guys, after I clean up my airbrush. I got my radar nose, the nose to the PS1. I got her painted all flat black. And she's at the side inside of a paper bag right there to keep it from getting disturbed. As you can tell, her tires got to go on, and her props got to go on. And she'll be finished. And the last thing I'm going to do is take the maskings out the windows here, and she's done. I got a special box I'm going to put her in already built. I got a bunch of cardboard boxes I get from work. And I custom make my boxes to the size of the airplane and make my own boxes so I can put them in. I can carry them in. So they got their own special places where they belong at, keep them from getting busted. And I'll take the props off and I lay them inside the box, keep them get broken. This is a nice kit, guys. This is a very old airplane. It's been around. It's one of the early efforts done by Hasegawa. And at the time, it was very truly a very welcome sight to have. And I never heard of the PS1 until 1971 when I first bought this thing, you know. And ever since then, I just decided to build another one. I bought 2 of them. Another one, I don't know where it happened yet. It may be in the box down below somewhere. I don't know. It may surprise me one of these days. I've been thinking about going down to the Bosun locker in my basement down there and open these boxes up and see what I got. I haven't built in about 20, 30 years. You guys would be amazed what I have in my home. And this is a nice flag boat, guys. It truly is. And it goes together very, very well. It's a nice kit. It's an old kit, guys. It just needs, you just got to just take your time on this. The thing has a lot of fit issues with it. Because it's ancient, it's old. And I can remember back then they had fit issues in it. And it's a very impressive flying boat. Japanese done a very wonderful job designing this thing. The Japanese always were good designers. They got drag coefficients, all these things. Okay, we'll send the cat back to yours truly, guys. That'll be the conclusion of video 3. So stay posted for video 4, the final reveal of this. And Bill's Rat and Matt Hill Models from the Down Under. I worry about them so much because the place is ablaze. On the internet, I've seen a global from the satellites outline of Australia. You can see patches of fire. Says, my God. That wasn't global warming, guys, because global warming don't exist. And the Earth goes through different changes all the time. We were just caught up in it, and we got to make ourselves so stupid, but it's not. I believe those fires are intentionally set. Same thing, those wildfires out in California out there. Sometimes they're intentionally set. They always had wildfires out there. When I was living out in California before I moved out here in Ohio, you had a lot of sagebush out there. Tumbleweeds, we call it. And man, them things are very combustible. It don't take much to get those things going there. You talk about kindling. That stuff burns like hair. And like cotton. Whew. So it's pretty combustible. Take a little cigarette, you toss it out, and boosh, there you go. You got yourself a brush fire. Terrible. People got to pay attention. This is a wonderful planet God made. People are destroying it. It's terrible. It's a sin. Well, anyway, Mr. Matt Hill Models and also Bill's Rat, they're considering about having another aircraft carrier built. So I got my Big E started over there, so I'll bring my Big E and throw that in, and they'll probably introduce a video on that, and probably I'm sure it was coming up for the year 2020. We got a lot of bills coming your ways, guys. I'm trying to knock these things out so I can be a free bird and get some more stuff shaking. Okay, this is Frankie Day from Frankie Day Models signing off. God bless each one of you guys. And make mama happy always. Take care of your baby doll. Take care of your babies. Take care of yourself. Spend wisely. Stay focused all the time. Buy yourself a model. It's cold outside. And this is the perfect time to build models and stay in the warmth and the wonderfulness of your own home. And my heart goes out to Matt and goes out to Bill's Rat and all the wonderful people that in Australia and those who are suffering of loss. And I feel so sorry for those poor animals. Those poor koala bears. I've seen pictures of them. Poor little things are getting all burnt up and stuff, and kangaroos and terrible things. They're scared half to death. And I can hear the wail of a koala bear. Them things scream. And I can hear those poor things screaming. Poor things. But, it'll get things will straighten out and get the fires out and life starts over again, fellas. My heart goes out to everybody out there, and I hope they get this thing under control so they get this thing out. And if it's intentionally done, they can find this guy and hang him by his Buster Browns. Okay. I chatted enough. This video is probably over 20 minutes, so be prepared for a 2-part video. So this is Frank again for this Frankie Day signing off. God bless all you guys, and thank you all for my new subscribers. And Mr. George Taylor, thank you, dear sir, for this wingnut 1/32 scale Foker DV11. I'm very honored, dear sir. This model will be built in your honor. I really appreciate this very much. You got a very kind heart and a wonderful heart, and God's got a place for you. Thank you very much, dear sir. I'm very, very honored and very happy and very, very happy. All you guys make old Frankie Day very happy. I'm enjoying my life with slept with, but I'm enjoying it. And I love you guys. You guys take care of yourselves. So stay posted this Sunday for the final reveal of the PS1. This is Frankie Day signing up for Frankie Day Models. Catch you guys in the next video. Bye, fellas. God bless you, boys.